Welcome to Burn the Ship. This is the podcast where we connect entrepreneurs or professionals that can help you go all in on your business. We talk to people that have walked the walk, talked the talk, been through all the things that we experience as small business owners, and come out the other side willing to share those experiences with us so that we can be better entrepreneurs. So thank you very much, Ken, for your time on the podcast. Anyone that sets apart some time to spend with me, to spend with the people that are listening in the audience, it means a lot to us. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure. My name's Ken Kwiatkowski. My background is the Big Five accounting world, besides my being a service-connected veteran of Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Um, I came up with an idea and to solve my own problem. And that's how the whole invention and patenting of my product, which is rebranded now, it's Sprinkler Guard by Grassholes, not only protects your sprinkler heads, keeps your sprinkler heads aligned, and it helps prevent the grass from growing over it. And in addition, in my patents, I put perforations on the bottom of the disc, so if it's near your driveway or sidewalk, you score them off and snap it. I mean, there's over 1,000 different configurations. I found a lot of in new home constructions, they're putting irrigation systems and they're putting sprinkler heads near the driveway or sidewalk. So it's really important that you're able to modify these and customize them to your needs. So locally made in Bradenton, Florida, and proud of that. My company is designated and certified by the SBA as a service disabled veteran-owned business, small business, as well as recognized by the state of Florida. My product locally made, and we use a natural ABS with a UV deterrent. And I'm actually coming up with a new product. It'll be finished. Should have been finished last month. Covers for the Grasshole. So when people north of the Mason-Dixon line drain their sprinkler systems, like we do with our lake houses in the mountains, that they put these covers on to protect it from the snow and the ice and so forth and so on.
So tell me this. I think everyone can relate to that aha moment product wise. Like, oh, what if we had this? Everybody goes through that inventor phase at some point of their day where they identify some product that could change their life. How does that turn into, as far as you have gone down this road? Like, what do you go do first to figure out, is this a real viable thing that I can turn into a business?
I'm telling you, you got to execute. I mean, we could have a million ideas. You could have a marketing plan on paper that you spent 10,000. If you don't execute, you'll never know. So what you do, you come up with your idea, start making prototypes. I started making prototypes out of paper and cardboard. Then I got some PVC material, a lot of crazy glue, spray paint, and now you want to research. Is this product viable for patenting, whether it's a utility patent or design patent or both? I have both. And you could go research the USPTO office and say, okay, I'm looking for this. Now, it's very hard to navigate sometimes and find that specific, whether that's patentable or not, your idea. I did hire a patent attorney who I know locally, but they're a nationwide firm, and had spent a few $100s and had them double check my research. There's nothing worse than building a product that's already patented, then you wind up getting sued and then have to give them royalties.
Yeah, for sure. So what was that? So once you've done your patent research and you had some good understanding of your product, how do you begin that manufacturing relationship? How do you go to market? What was the initial strategy for yourself?
So the key is when you're finding how would I put it, a name for your corporation or company, you want to go out and make sure you get a matching URL. That is the key. In Florida, we use Sunbiz, so you can go research names. Then you go out on GoDaddy. What is this name available? You want to buy the .com, the .net, whatever you could buy. Um, that is your first starting point when you set up the corporation and get that URL, secure that down, and you go from there. Making those prototypes is key. You really need a working prototype of some sort, and then finding who can build this prototype for me. So I went to a few local manufacturers because as a veteran, I couldn't send this to China.
Right.
It was, I'd have nightmares. But the key is too, if I sent it to China based on the CAD drawings and they build the mold, I would have never had the product I have today because there were changes we had to make with the mold in order to make them stackable so they fit in the box. And we found out when we were doing the initial aluminum mold that I could only stack 5 high and they weren't going to fit in the original box that I was going to stack 10 high. So, okay, so I had to go back to the drawing board. Okay, we got to make the box double wide. So that means we got to change all the illustrations. And these are some of the things, it's a work in progress. It's a constant work in progress. And you got to think outside the box and come up with solutions and talked with your colleagues. I have other ones where I had the disc was bigger, and it's like, well, I think 7 inches around should be sufficient because St. Augustine grass grows over. And if you at least maintain your yard, that not going to have a problem with your sprinkler heads at that point.
Sure. So there's a continuous need to improve upon that original idea. How long did all of that take? Like, once you figured out there is some design flaw when it comes to not the functionality of the
Mhm.
product, but the way that it needs to be packaged to be marketed, to be given to your clients. Like, once you work through all those things, you continue to execute. How long did that whole process take for you? And then what was the idea behind, what was it, direct immediately go direct to consumer? Was it go B2B? Like, what was the original go to market strategy?
So people say I'm a little exceptional how quickly I got my product to market from prototypes to CAD drawings to building the mold to figuring out the material, filing for the design patent, and then subsequently filing for utility patent. In production, additional prototype, changes to the mold, and on the shelves in 5 months.
Wow. That is exceptional. I would say most of the people that I've talked, that's more like an 18 month to 12 month
It,
process.
I'm kind of tenacious. I have the background in accounting, so I've worked with a lot of big construction companies, other big companies like Daimler, Mercedes-Benz, GEG, Capital, Knight Ritter, and a lot of big local construction companies here. So it's really being persistent, tenacious, and believing in yourself. And it's like just keep going and going and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps every day. Every day is not easy for me. I got the PTSD, and some days I got to pull myself up by my bootstraps. No matter, hey, I just got $100,000 order. Oh, that's great. And it's like, okay, I'm not having the great day, but you keep moving through it. So that's where I'm at.
Sure. So once you decided to get your market, or your product was where it needed to be and you went to market, what was your original traction?
My original attraction was I had a banker colleague who was overseeing some Ace Hardware guy who owned 20 franchises at Ace Hardware. So he allowed me to go into 3 of his stores, setting up the website, setting up the shopping cart, making sure all that worked. Now, okay, now how do we ship these? I had a warehouse in my where my pool table is, and I'm packaging these things up and shipping them. Okay, let's find other people to ship these for me. So I got involved with Amazon in October. They first went on for sale in May. And in October, that's when I started work with Amazon, getting that set up and having a few people assist me with that. And I did the branding on my own, so nobody could really take away the Grasshole name and the product and the patents. I also went with this other company, My Store, which is kind of phasing out. Originally, they wanted to compete with Amazon. The owner kind of went with a different direction. I'll leave him nameless. But and from there, I was going to trade shows, meeting different people. I really wanted to scale the B2B, and I was always open to, an exclusive licensing agreement. If somebody wanted to license my patent or white labeling my product, I was good with that as well. So I'm constantly knocking, scaling the B2B. I just got into a school district in California, so that opens up. There's 1,000 school districts, so we're working on that. But the problem is, you can't just send emails. You really need to pick up the phone and talk to these people and find out who's who and what spam filters and everything. You know, I get bombarded by emails, people trying to solicit me day in and day out. But you got to do old school. You got to pick up the phone, call those people, talk to them. Okay, this is negotiate a price with them, and you go from there.
Sure. So what's been kind of your superpower through this whole process is it seems like you've kind of hung your hat on that ability to just continue pushing forward and moving and making things happen and not letting, the same list of things to do persist from day to day. But in your own words, what's kind of been the thing that's kept you moving forward?
Well, support from my family, support from my colleagues that I'm able to bounce off ideas. My motto is God, family, country. Without God, I don't know where I'd be, and that is my strength, and it keeps me moving on a daily basis. I could swear like a Navy sailor on leave, but at the end of the day, it's all God. At this point, it's God's company. It's not mine, and this is how I work it. When I give, I just supported a cornhole tournament for SRQ vets, which benefits them, and I know I'll get it back tenfold. I don't even worry about that. So it's not only faith in God; it's faith that gives you faith in yourself and that confidence. Yes, you have a bad day. Tomorrow's another day. You don't wait till New Year's to celebrate. Oh, next year will be better. Every day is a new day. It's a whiteboard. It's clean. And you just got to be prepared to deal with those hurdles. And sometimes it's just those little things that break the camel's back and get your Achilles. And sometimes you just got to sit back and just say, let it go and keep the negative people away from you. I've had people betray me, fellow veterans with their manufacturing, and you got to forgive and forget and keep those negative people out of your life and keep the positive people around you.
And it's more difficult in theory. That sounds doable, but I think that what is difficult for sometimes for people in the business world is to realize that applies to every asset or every aspect of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? Is that you have to keep people around you that are pushing you toward executing on your ideas and not laying up potential problems in the future that haven't reared their head yet, right? That all kind of permeates your way through what your process is on a day to day in your business world, right? Like if you don't have the people that are supporting you, that are encouraging you to go forward, then it's going to be much more difficult to make those actionable decisions on a day to day basis. I mean, I think a lot of business is about rhythm, and when you fall into the right rhythm and you get used to making those phone calls and you get used to the habits that really move your business forward, the chance of you being successful is much, much higher. What have you found difficult? Like, what surprised you at what was really able to hold up that process as you're going to market or going through that sales process of acquiring clients?
Sometimes you're not always dealing with the people that you have the same values with. There are a lot of people that will take advantage of you as you start getting in sales. Well, I could do this for you, X, Y, and Z. Never pay for anything up front. And it's like building a house. You give them half the money up front, the other or a third up front to buy all the materials, a third when they're processing. Then maybe you retain 10% till you are satisfied with that final product. Because if you don't have a leg to stand on. You can't, and and you got to look at the contracts and have faith in those people. But do your research on who you're manufacturing with, what their ratings are on Google and so forth. Um, at the end of the day, it is your choice. Confide in your colleagues. Whether you make a good choice or a bad choice, it's what you have to live with, and you learn by. And I look what Thomas Edison. His greatest successes were his failures, because he knows He'll never do those again. And my son even said to me one time when he was younger, Dad, I learned from all your mistakes.
That's positive feedback. That's
So
positive feedback.
you take the lemons, you make lemonade, and you move on. Don't worry about that. It's easier said than done. Yes, I struggle with it, and I struggled with some betrayals along the way, especially doing business with other veterans. That was the worst. That was et tu brute, and I mean, kill the Caesar, and it was just it blew my mind, and it gave me PTSD for a month, 2 months, and I had to work through it. And all my friends are saying, yeah, you can go back and sue them, blah, blah, blah. But Ken, you know what? Move on, move on, move on, because, forgive those who trespass against you and move on. That's the bottom line. And God will, with your faith, God will reward you. That's all I can tell you.
No, yeah, and you're not wrong. I mean, the persistence to keep moving forward is so vital, no matter what the speed that you're moving forward at. I think there's speed bumps in the road for everyone that tries to turn this inherited dream, or no, this aggregated dream into reality. There's going to be things that go not according to plan, or people that misrepresent themselves and their intentions. um the ability to hop back on the horse, I think, is what is so difficult about that, and it's difficult in every aspect of life. Like, if you can make it past those first couple of actionable steps and you see that traction, now at least you have some momentum downhill to carry you forward. But there's still going to be things that try to stop you, and the faster
Hmm.
that you can move through those things, and the more precise that you can move those through those things, the easier it's going to be. So how can we, both myself, my company, and the people that are listening in the audience, how can we support you? How do we find you? Where do we go on the internet to buy something?
I have multiple platforms that I sit on. Under Facebook, there's Grasshole Corporation, or Grasshole, or Angus McGrath, like my character. I'm on LinkedIn. There's Kenny K. Kwiatkowski, also Grasshole Corporation. I'm on X. I'm on YouTube. Enjoy my videos. My website is www.sprinkler-guard.com, or the Grasshole one, www.grassholesystem.com. If you need to buy bulk orders, contact me directly. There is a link on my website for additional information. I am also certified with SAMS. I have a cage number, so I'm able to sell to government agencies, which I'm working on. And I'm open to bulk orders. If somebody wants to bring me connections, I'm happy to give them a commission off the gross.
Sure. Well, I've got two more things for you here. One is that you're talking to a bunch of people in the audience that they've had that here's this product that can change my life, maybe I should sell it to other people moment a little more vividly than your average person, because they're listening to this podcast, which to the extent tells us they're okay with taking some level of actionable steps to see this thing through. Describe this whole entrepreneurship journey for yourself, and why other people that have that same bug should seek that process out.
It's self-gratifying, but at the same time, you got to deal with the punches and the hurdles in the road. If you have a prototype, make sure you have an NDA and have them sign it by any manufacturer that is going to look at that product. You don't want them, if it's not patented yet, you don't want to share these ideas with them. I mean, you could have pending patent, but if it's not patented yet, you definitely want these people to sign an NDA and not turn around and send your idea to China. Then you see it on Amazon. It's like, oh crap, I didn't cover my butt on that one. That is the most important thing. I found that somebody had reverse engineer my product in China, selling it on Amazon, and I chased him down. I made him give me 10% of his sales, and he wired it to me, but he wouldn't tell me who the manufacturer was. But that's a communist country, and that's how they roll. So make sure you have your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and get that NDA. You can find them out there. They're out on the Google. You can find it, and I'm happy to share mine and forward it to you. You could reach out to me via my website. There's a link there, or ken at grassholesystem.com. I'm happy to help any entrepreneur and give you directions. But the key is, building the prototype and finding somebody to do the CAD drawings. But even with the CAD drawing guy, you want to make sure he has a signed NDA, that he's not taking your product somewhere else.
Absolutely. I agree. I think that having your ducks in a row is important before you go and try to turn your vision into a reality. I mean, you need to go and check and do the research because it can cost you millions. It can really hurt your feelings if you don't. It really, and I've seen
Yes.
it happen.
Yes,
Well,
unfortunately.
I've got one more thing for you, and I want, and this is me asking, I want you to give me like your best sprinkler guard by Grasshole Systems Billy Zane infomercial that I can post and let people know exactly what it is that your product does, and we'll put the links and stuff under it and see if we can't get them to buy some stuff. But I know that you've done it. I know you have it practiced, and I want to see the salesman come out of you and let me see what you've got and how you represent your product.
Sure. The most revolutionary patented sprinkler head protection product, 100% veteran owned, manufactured locally in Bradenton, which supports the economic impact in the community.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, my friend. For the audience, burn the ship. If you need any assistance from me, if there's any value that my company, any of the guests on Burn the Ship can be, Ken, I appreciate you offering to be of some assistance as well to the
Yes,
people
sir.
in the audience. If there's anything that we can do for you guys to help you turn what you envision for your business, for your future, into something that you can control, something that you can see turn real, any questions that we can answer for you, please. We do this as something to benefit the entrepreneur community because the people with entrepreneur dreams that turn them into a reality help us literally achieve our goals every single day in our lives as well by being a part of that on the payment side. So, whether it's payments related or not, whether we have a play to make money there or whatever it is, we just want to be beneficial to you because the stronger that ecosystem grows, the stronger the economy grows, the more opportunities there are for us, and the more value that we can give back to you guys. So, Ken, thank you very much. I look forward to putting this podcast out. And if there's anything that you need in the meantime, please lean on me, okay?
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
Anytime. All right, you as well. All right, burn the ship.